Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Among Us has a really cool theme. So you're the humans and the aliens are coming down and they're trying to take over and you're trying to get a plan together to stop it. Very cool theme, and one I'm surprised I don't see more. Among Us has a lot going from it when you just open the box. I was really excited to play this, and there's some big problems here. One, the components. The game is unplayable with the components that I had, the way they were, with the typos and the errors. The game was unplayable. Now, you can easily fix that if you don't mind marking up your cards and fixing some things. So the components completely let it down, make the game unplayable, but let me start from here and go. Putting that aside, just tell you about the game. So you get a really neat little cooperative game that is going on, and one that I really like. And to be honest, I wish they had taken the cooperative game and focused on that more. I'll get to the second half of the game in a second, because I find the cooperative game to be really fun. I find the theme to be really engaging, and I find what we're doing to be a very, very good experience, if not a great experience, if they had concentrated on that. Instead, they add this traitor mechanic to it, kind of like a Battlestar Galactica, where you have an actual game going on, but you also have this traitor mechanic. So one of the players may be working against the group, and you kind of gotta find out who that is and why that is, and get rid of that player so he doesn't have as much power. And then if you can find out that he's a Cylon, or an alien in this case, then they have their own less powerful actions that they can take, I suppose. So that's kind of what's going on here, and you kind of smash these together, and I kind of like it. And some of the components are really good, but those cards and those misprints really let it down, and I have to bring the game down for that. The game is a little bit tricky to understand. Some of the rules are a little bit wonky. I wish that had been clarified a little bit. The board is really, really busy, and it's supposed to be a real city, but doesn't really match up, which is fine. But there's just some little inconsistencies that kind of built up to something where I'd rather just pull out Battlestar Galactica, to be honest, or maybe just play Resistance and get the same thing in a much shorter time. If they had developed that cooperative game a little bit more, I think that I would have liked it more. But I just didn't like it put together here at the same point. But the theme works, and I think that if they made a second edition, I would be very, very interested to play this game and actually be really high up. They fix some of these issues, because I think they have what would be a very solid game. Now, I'm assuming that this game needed a little bit more development, because the ideas are good, they just kind of didn't flow together. It kind of felt like you were on a project, and there was a deadline, and it's like, we're going to do a hard deadline, and they didn't necessarily get it done, and the deadline was there, and they're like, oh, we got to meet this deadline. That's what the game production feels like, and the development of the game. So for me, awesome theme. I'm excited for a second edition. If they fix some of these things, I think this could be a huge hit. The artwork in the game I like, the components, except for those errors they made with printing, I feel like were really good. I would be great to see a deluxe version of this, or just a second edition that fixes some of these issues. I think they could have a hit on their hands. As of right now, it's mediocre, but this game could be great. While it is a purge for me, it's one that could totally see you seeking this out, trying it, and loving it a lot. So here's Among Us. It's got a very striking board. I like how they're hiding from the alien. You got sweat coming down. I think it paints a really, really good picture. And I think the box quality is okay. You're opening it up. You're going to have some rules inside. You're going to have a board, which we'll take a look at in a second. You're going to have just a regular insert. You're going to have some of these tarot-sized cards, which become just the event cards. You're going to have some of these cards that will come in it. These are little tiny cards. Some of these have typos on them. They're not enough of one type. There's some typos. Not crazy about that. You are going to get a number of these alien ships that are really cool. They're going to go on the board. They're blue, but they're little saucers from like 50s alien movies. And then you're going to get these little cards, which are really cool. They have these people, that go inside of it that take care of your actions. I think they're really neat how they go inside. And you're going to get a couple dice, one with letters on them. These are stickered dice. These are regular printed ones on. These are kind of weird. I don't know what the deal with this is. As for components, I do have Tom Vassel's old copy. I bought this at the Dice Tower Con, so this is where I got this from. So I didn't buy this straight from the manufacturer like I normally do. I did pay money for it through Cool Stuff Games, but that's kind of what you get inside the box. Let's take a look. Oh, these are kind of neat pieces too. These used to accuse people of. They're like fingers, like you're pointing at somebody. You are going to get a board that's double-sided, so there's two different cities on it. going to be like a grid type base on it. And boy, is it a mess. Does that hurt your eyes or what? As you can see, there's a lot going on here. Although, really, all that really matters are the streets. As for the rules, mine came with just paper printed out. So I don't know. This is what I bought. I bought this from Cool Stuff Games. So it looks like it's just computer paper that this is printed on. So it's kind of weird that it would come in this. Didn't have like a regular rule book. It's kind of a weird setup here. As for the rules themselves, pretty easy to understand. You're going to have pictures of all of the components. You're going to have pictures of everything, examples going on, how to win. I feel like the rules are pretty good. You can probably read about 15 to 30 minutes and be up and running in no time. My goal here is going to be to show you just some flow of the game, not really all of the rules. The first thing you do each turn is you will turn over one of these event cards and do whatever it says. In this case, draw as many event cards as the actual strategic pressure. Place all the dread red cards in the upcoming event space, all the others in the preventer. Place a new agent without the siren on one of the starting spots. He will be initially considered used. The spot may be free of other agents. Place an agent on a gathering spot. That spot must be free of other agents. Aliens attack all the agents in the field. Put an alien token on every free district controlled by an agent. You're going to have these motherships. Now, when these come up, 4 of these will end the game, and then the aliens win. Move to any agent to a spot next to another agent. That spot must be free. Move an agent to any other starting spot. The spot must be free. So just beginning of each turn, you flip one of these over and you do what it says. It's a random event. The second thing is going to be the player actions that you'll do in a turn. You'll take actions around the board. I'll show you how that goes. And then the third spot's going to be just the cleanup phase that you're going to have. So let me show you a little bit about the actions and how it moves across the board. First thing you do is planning. You take a couple event cards. You basically put one back on top and one at the bottom of the deck. You look at them, you make a decision on what you want to come up, but that's going to be the planning action that you can take on your turn. If somebody has one of these accusing things in front of them, you can accuse somebody of being an alien. I think you're an alien. And then they have to reveal to you whether they're an alien or not. If you're wrong, then you lose this, and you can no longer accuse anybody for the game. If you're correct and they're alien, they no longer be able to use human actions. They'll have to do the alien actions, which I'll show you what those are in a minute. You're also going to have these cards, these agent cards that will be on the board. You can utilize one of these by taking this out of it. So if it doesn't have one of these blue things inside of it, you cannot take an action with it, but if it does, you would. And you can put those back in at the end of the round. But you'll have these agent cards, let's say they're around on the board. First thing you do is simply move to another spot on the board. You can see the little white spots are where you're moving. You can simply move to another spot. As the game progresses, you'll have aliens that are out on these spots on the board. This will happen from alien play and event cards that will happen. Is you can take these off the board, so that would be an action to try to get rid of these. And you can get rid of some of these spaceships because you don't want too many of those on the board. You also will have these scientists on the board. You can escort them and basically just move them in between these spots here. There are certain locations on the board that you want to get them to. Maybe if I moved here, I could get them into the spot. So you can move these in between these cars. Now, if you're the alien, you can also do, those are the human actions. As the alien, you can also do the event. So you can put bad stuff on top, and the bottom would be the good things. You can choose a spot that has one of these guys on it, and you can put the spaceships on each one that they control. So you can kind of put it around them. That will put the spaceships out on the board. Then people can also try to rescue the scientists, and by rescuing them, you can put these, everybody would put these cards out, either rescue or assimilation. And then just like Battlestar Galactica, you take a couple of these, people will put them in face down, you'll shuffle them up, and you see what is revealed. There are different cards in here that you can have. Another thing the alien player can do is you can draw 4 event cards and just have them fire off so you can see what they do. Keep in mind that you're kind of trying to get through, if you're the alien, you're trying to get through this to get the mothership cards out. You want to get these cards out because that's how you win the game. So the good guys, the humans, will win by getting all of the scientists out to wherever the rescue spot will be. Let's just say it's there, so you will be able to get all of them out. The aliens will win by getting the 4 mothership cards out. That's one way to win. Or if they're able to have a whole sector of the board that's filled up with these aliens. There's a couple ways for them to win. So I want to take a moment and just kind of talk about it. So you have this cooperative game where the alien player, the board itself, is trying to get these ships out. You're trying to prevent that from happening by getting the scientists all to the rendezvous spot, if you will. It's a really cool cooperative game. Now, on top of it, people will be either aliens or they will be humans that will be in the game. So that's going on too. And you have this thing where you're deducting through the assimilation cards and the rescue cards about whether you want to rescue somebody or not. So you have to know who you're bringing in to vote, very much like Battlestar Galactica. Who do you want to be inside this vote in order to get the people where you want them? It's very interesting. I like it quite a bit, actually, about what's going on there. So there's like two games kind of meshed together, kind of like Battlestar Galactica, where you have the social deduction on top of trying to manage the resources and etc. And I think they succeed at that in most points here in a more cooperative game. Who should buy this game? Easily, anybody who likes a traitor mechanic, right? So this is another one, but it has an actual game. There's a lot of traitor mechanic games that are just little card games. There's not a whole lot like Battlestar Galactica that has an actual game attached to it. I like that pretty much. Shadows of Camelot and Battlestar Galactica being the main ones. This one also, very good. If you like the aliens kind of taking over the world, I think this is it. I think you've nailed it. There are some issues with components. There's some issues with the printing and misprints that make the game unplayable, so you have to fix those a little bit. You can go online and get that. It's an easy fix if you're willing to mark up your cards. It's an easy fix. It makes the game playable and much more enjoyable, but just kind of know what you're getting into first. Not really for casual gamers. Some of the rules are a little bit wonky, so I wouldn't say this is a casual gamer game. This might be like that middleweight, family weight, a little bit up from an introductory game. But this is one I'm super excited to see, second edition, where they can clear up some of these issues. For me, it's a Purge, but I could totally be on board with another edition.
Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel, lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing.